Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Gini. And you see our shirts?
Like and follow. Oh no, it says like and share.
Oh, you didn't put follow?
Well, anyways.
He's not allowed to make shirts anymore.
We want you to like and follow it, but definitely share it.
And the reason we're wearing this is Chris created the red shirt for our Red for Feds AFGE family members.
Yeah.
So
Today is Wednesday night, Red for Feds.
Wednesday night OWCP chats and Red for Fed Wednesdays. So, hello,
hey, Tammy,
Tammy,
Regina, and Cynthia.
So this is why we have our red on, and these shirts will be available on the Breaking OWCP website soon.
Yeah, I just haven't put them there yet, but I will soon.
Yes. So tonight, as a lot of you know, we will be discussing why it's important for you guys to educate yourselves and tell others about the CA-10. I think that's probably one of the most important pieces of paper that you guys could have, and, you know, say why.
Yeah, well, the CA-10, I like saying this because it's super nerdy. This is the ABCs of OWCP. And the CA-10 is the ABCs of OWCP. It is what a federal employee should do when injured at work, and it's the basics of what you do. It's a 5-step process that all happens at one setting, and it's a almost 33-year-old form now. It has not been revised in 33 years. The last revision was 1987. And so it's shocking to me, and I say this all the time. If you are a regular watcher, you know I'm shocked, and still today I am, that after 33 years you've not seen a CA-10, and in spite of the fact that we teach it. If you get the book, Breaking OWCP, I've got a whole chapter in there about the CA-10 because it's so damn important what a federal employee should do when injured at work. Nationwide, 1 out of 13 people in the federal government has an accepted work injury claim, which probably, by all accounts, is about 50% of injuries. So about 50% of injuries have an accepted claim, which is horrible. No. Yeah, that's right.
It is horrible.
Anyways, it's terrible. So 1 out of 13... 6 out of 13 people have an accepted claim. 1 out of 6 people. Okay, 1 out of 6 injuries has an accepted claim. My point is, one of the huge reasons why that is because people don't even know what to do when they get hurt. They have no idea. They ask their supervisor, get wrong or bad or purposely false answers. They ask their coworkers. Coworkers never been hurt, so they have no idea, and they're certainly not trained on it. It's not posted anywhere, even though the form says post on employee's bulletin board. So we're going to talk about the CA-10 tonight. If you want to get a lot of detail about it and a lot of other information, then go to breakingowcp.com. I wrote this book just for you. Let me get a little closer. Just for you, that's me. And the whole point is I'm trying to stop this epidemic of denied claims. But it's not the denied claims. I'm trying to stop the disaster that comes after a denied claim. The bankruptcy, the suicidal thoughts, okay, and everything in between. The terrible treatment by supervisors, the threats of retaliation and termination. These are things that we can stop, and the rules are here. So get the book. But tonight we're going to talk about the book a little bit, but mostly about the CA-10, what a federal employee should do when injured at work.
Right. So before we begin, Jerry got her book.
Thank you for getting it, Jerry.
Regina said she ordered her book, and Lisa Matthews, she says, I'm a grandma again today. Well, congratulations, Lisa. Let's see. Dawn said, easy read and excellent info.
Hey,
good.
Thanks a lot, Dawn. The whole point was, I want to just comment on that. I made this easy to read on purpose. Yeah. Today I told somebody, if you read this book and you think, gosh, this isn't like other books, that's a compliment. The whole point of this is to take a very confusing and complicated system and make it to where all of us can understand it. And I write conversationally. I write to you like I'm talking to you. And if you follow me, you know I talk to you like we're regular people because I am and you are. So this book was written to you with an expectation that this is hard. Let's make it easy.
Yeah. So before we begin our little CA-10, why it's important, don't forget to like, follow, and please share.
Yeah.
Those of you that are on here, take a minute to share it to either your personal page or your union pages. And thank you for everyone that allows us to share on your Facebook union pages.
Yeah, we really do appreciate that. The whole point, like sharing on your pages, is not for me. As all of you that are regulars here know, I don't receive anything for you being here. What I receive is the gratitude to know I get to teach you. You receive everything for being here. So please share it to everybody that you know. Share it to your union pages. Those union pages that have asked us to stop or that have blocked us, we're not mad at you. That's your page. You run that page as you see fit. But those of you that are members of that page, you share it. Because you know, as well as I do, that you and your coworkers all need the information. So you go ahead and share it. If your union doesn't want you to, please don't keep doing it. We're not looking for you to have a problem in that way either. I only want to solve problems. I don't want to cause them. So, but share it where you can, please.
Yeah, so those of you those of you on here, either, again, share to your personal pages or share to your Facebook union group pages. And I know a lot of you didn't hear when I said this at the beginning. So we have these shirts, Wednesday night OWCP chats. It says like and share. We will be selling these shirts on Breaking OWCP. Probably by the end of the week, they'll be ready to go for you guys to order.
And that's only because so many people ask for it.
Yeah.
Every time we put a shirt on, we get 100 people to say, how do we get that shirt?
Yeah.
So we found a way to do that and keep it cheap for you.
Thank you, Tammy, for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
And the reason we have it for red is to also represent our AFGE union for Red for Feds today.
That's right.
So we tried to kill two birds with one stone. I had to think about how many birds I'm killing.
We don't really want to kill any of them. The birds around here are super pretty. I'm not killing those birds, but you get the point.
Yeah. Aw, Angela said, I'm an official union. I'm a union official, and I'm grateful you are doing this. Thank you
Angela,
so much.
And we're grateful for you. Thank you.
Linda says, hey, I asked our union steward today if he wanted a book. Showed him mine. Nah.
That's
well.
okay. Hey, you know what? That's fine because probably that union steward is already an OWCP expert and doesn't need it.
Oh, Angela, you said you're with AFGE, so
Yeah, we love you.
this is why we did the red for Wednesday night OWCP chats. We have different colors, but this is why we wear this one today, so we could be a part of
Red for
Feds. So, with that said, we are...
For real? All right, so we're outside, and this dude right now is doing some weed eating.
So, before we begin the CA10, get a piece of paper and a pen.
And a weed eater.
And a weed eater behind me.
If you have a lawnmower, it's probably time for that too.
If you can't hear me, let me know. But we're going to try to speak as loud as we can. So those of you that know, you should get the CA10, and it should be in all of your break rooms. We were thinking of coming up with something small enough to even go in your wallet with the same thing, so you guys could have, when we come back out to your union conventions and meetings, that we could give you little CA10 cards. Nothing else, not with our logo or anything, just so you could have it so everybody knows their rights. Today, I was discussing with Chris, somebody called me, I don't know what agency or union she's from, but she called and she said she got rear-ended and she went to the emergency room. Her supervisor said, or manager said, or one of the two, that she could only get a CA1. She couldn't get a CA16 or a CA17. That they'll have to talk about it, and it wasn't permitted. And so I was telling Chris about that, and we both kind of laughed. Like, okay. And I told her, no, go ahead and you demand that CA16, because she's going to wind up having a hospital bill, and wherever she decides to go to get treated, and if she has to do any chiropractic adjustments, that CA16 is going to cover you.
Yeah.
And then I had to wind up sending her the CA10 where it shows it, where she's got to give it to them. So, with that said, this is why we need you guys to be informed and understand the CA10 more importantly than any other sheet of OWCP paper.
But check it out. So, like, I have the CA10 in the book. You can't read that, but it's there. That's the CA10. And, it's so important because it talks about the CA16 and how it's your right to have a form that keeps you from making health decisions based on finances. When you make health decisions based on finances, your health decisions go to the back seat, okay? Your finances are in the forefront. And that happens because, look, we have to afford to live. And so we start thinking, well, gosh, my back pain, I don't have to pay for it, but I have to pay my, my mortgage or my car payment or my rent or whatever. And so, we put some stuff in here that makes it to where when your supervisor pulls that crap and doesn't want to give it to you, you can say, yeah, but here's the law, and, I want my CA-16. And this is so important because we're not out traveling because, we're all shut down, and the airplanes that are flying have, 3 people on the plane. And anyways, you're not even having meetings, but if you were, we may not be there. So if you get the book, you can get the information and not make health decisions based on finances.
So I'm going to read you exactly word for word what she sent me. I'm not going to disclose her name. So she said, Superior telling me they only have to fill out the CA1, CA16, and CA17 can't be done until I get a case number. Now, those of you that know, that's not true. So it was pretty pathetic. And she said, and they said until the case is officially filed. Is that correct?
What do you think?
Right. So I sent her the CA10, and she says, I'm in the ER. I'm at the ER right now. Postmaster texted me and said he was leaving. Take it up with the supervisor tomorrow. See what I'm saying? This is why we tell you guys they don't care if you pass away tomorrow. They're just going to replace you. So you guys have to know your rights and have to get educated.
That dude's yard's going to look so good. After this, I'm going to go look at it and admire it. I bet it's going to be awesome. I'm taking a flashlight. I have to see it at night even. I can't wait till tomorrow.
Hey, team.
I was about to say something about CA16s too. And, I forgot. That's a beautiful... It's like music, right?
Oh, no, Linda, that's not a fire pit. That's our tiki torches.
Because we have mosquitoes. We're in
mosquitoes,
Florida.
So we have them all around our patio so we don't get attacked. Because for some reason, being from Texas, he gets eaten.
I am a mosquito buffet. Bring it on, I say.
Oh, Letty, thank you. She said, God bless you. Thank you all for what you do for us. You're so welcome.
Well, God bless you all.
Carl said, Chris, just received my book today. So thankful we have people like the two of you to be in our corner. Thank you all for what you do. Well, you know what? We thank you guys.
Yeah, we're thankful for you, Carl.
Tuning in every week and getting the knowledge and getting educated for free. And if those of you trolls out there think that this is
trolls,
something that we're being ambulance chasers, go ahead now and swipe your credit card on your cell phone.
Yeah.
And I'm charging $99.99. Swipe.
Yeah, swipe
anyway,
now.
Yeah. Let's get started with the CA10. Again, you could also download the CA10 from federalinjurycenters.com. Go to forms. CA10 is on there. It's also in the book for those of you that got the book, or you can just go on Google and Google CA10 OWCP form.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the CA10 just real quick. Please stick around if you can. This isn't a 1-hour training session. We do it every week. But stick around if you can, because at the end of this, we're going to save some time to give you just some news, some things that we're going to be doing coming up. And some of you have already told us that you're really, really, really interested in doing it, because it means you can make $2,500 to $4,500 potentially, right? So that's all I'm going to say about it. Hang around. We'll talk about it at the end. I want this to be a teaching session, not a sell session. So let's get into the teaching.
All right, CA1, CA10.
CA10. But first of all, go to Twitter, follow @FedInjuryCenter, @FedInjuryCenter. It's the @ sign. If you don't have Twitter, freaking get Twitter, okay? @FedInjuryCenter. If you're worried about wasting your time, don't follow anybody but me, and you'll be fine, because I almost never post there. But when I do, it's super useful to you. Almost as useful as the book. So follow us on Twitter, @FedInjuryCenter. With that said, let's talk about the CA10. It's what a federal employee should do when injured at work. The CA10 was last revised in 1987, and at the bottom of the page it says post on employee's bulletin board. And I am positive that unless you know me, you've never seen it on the bulletin board. If you know me, you posted it yourself, and I recommend everybody do that. You can all get a copy of the CA10 by going to federalinjurycenters.com. That's a practice or a franchise that we own. That franchise is there to help you get your claims accepted. But you can go to federalinjurycenters.com and print all the CA10s you want and every other form that we talk about tonight. Federal Injury Centers with an S. All right, so the CA-10, what a federal employee should do when injured at work. People say, wow, filing a work injury is hard, and it's scary, and I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use my health insurance, which means I'm going to pay money out of my pocket, and with copays and deductibles, and I might not even get treatment at all because it's expensive. And even if I could do workers' comp, I don't really know a workers' comp doctor, and I'm not sure how to get paid. And how do I get paid when I'm off of work? Well, the CA-10 answers all those questions. So it's broken down into 5 parts. The first part says report to supervisor. You start reading in the paragraph, and look, I'm doing this by memory because I do this, but get a CA-10, okay? It'll help you. If you have the book, turn to page, I think, 17. It's on there. It says report to supervisor as soon as possible. What I'll tell you in the book is as soon as possible means now, because now is as soon as possible. 1 minute from now is not as soon as now. So report now. Because if you don't report now, you start losing benefits, and those benefits are things we're going to talk about because they're part of the CA-10. The problem is they don't spell them out as benefits. They barely even explain what these things are. But report to your supervisor. So look, I know that's painful. You don't want to report to your supervisor because they're not very nice about it. They don't want you to be injured or report it or even talk about it. But it's your right to do so, and they can't prevent it because preventing you from doing so is a violation of law that comes with a penalty of fines and imprisonment. Get the book, you'll know exactly what that is, but just know this, you have the right to report this injury. They cannot prevent it legally. They can go to jail for preventing it. The second...
And it is true, it is jail time.
It is. Look, I didn't make this up. Go to USPS, so you can go to the to your website, and you'll find it there. It explains in detail that they could spend, 1, 5, 10 years in jail, depending on what they do in violation. But I don't want anybody to go to jail, so supervisors, read the book too. Stay out of trouble. The second part of this thing says, number 1, you can choose your own doctor. All right. So choose your own doctor means your doctor. The law says you have the right to initial selection of physician. But too many times your supervisor says, no, you can't, especially at the VA. They say you have to go to the VA doctor. No disrespect to those doctors, okay? They're world class, but they don't get claims accepted, and you don't have to go see them. And if you work for another agency like the post office, you don't have to go to the urgent care doctor they're telling you have to go to, because there's a nurse practitioner there, and that's going to get denied. You have the right to choose your own doctor, and the Form CA-10 says so. The second part also says that you need to get a CA-16. It doesn't say what that form is, so you're like, what's a CA-16? I don't know. The supervisor says they don't know, so forget about it. The CA-16 is what pays your medical bills for the first 60 days after the date of injury on a CA-1 claim. And so anybody that says, well, you need a claim number first, well, that's BS because you have 60 days of payment. You're not getting a claim number in 60 days, maybe 30. Honestly, you might get it in 2 weeks. But if you get it in 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks and only 45 days to go. They're supposed to give it to you on demand within 4 hours of your request. But they don't know that. But when you get the book, you'll find the actual rule, the law, that says they have 4 hours to give it to you. That's very valuable to you because it pays your medical bills even if your claim never gets accepted and you never have to pay the money back. Now let me repeat that. If you get a CA-16, it pays your medical bills and you never have to pay it back even if your claim is denied. So you need that form, but nobody gets it. Most people haven't even heard of it. In my book, I talk about it, I tell you how to get it and what the laws are that prevent them from denying you. I don't want you making decisions on your health based on finances anymore. And that's what's happening, and that prevents people from filing because it's such a hassle and a headache to get help when you have to pay it out of your own pocket and you don't have the money. So the second part of that says choose your own doctor, get a CA-16. Get one, choose your own doctor. The third says, get a CA-1 and CA-2. So you're sitting there. You just reported, you asked for a 16, and you set and fill out your CA-1 and CA-2. And you're doing this all at the same time. This is not overwhelming. It happens all in the same period of time. In half an hour, you can be finished reporting and doing everything you need to do. But the CA-1 and 2 is how you report your injury. The 1 is for an injury that happened in a single shift, like today. The 2 happens in 2 or more shifts, like tendinitis or carpal tunnel syndrome. Those happen over a period of time. If you got bit by a dog, it's a CA1. If you have a mental health issue like anxiety or PTSD, that could be a 1 or a 2. It depends on how it happened, but it's covered. It can be covered. And so you need to fill out these forms. And the fourth thing says get a receipt of notice or notice of receipt. And the notice of receipt is no big deal. It's part of the CA1 and 2. But what it does is it proves that you reported your injury on time. And when you get that back, along with copies of everything else, which is your right by law, and that's in the book as well, then you can prove you reported. They have 10 days to send it to DOL. Now, who understands you're definitely not getting a claim number before 10 days. So how could you not get a CA16? Because if you don't get your CA16, you're waiting on at least 10 days. Then you're waiting on some time for a claims examiner to review it, and then to finally issue a claim number, and that doesn't mean your claim's accepted. So clearly, you have a right to it today, and the law says within 4 hours.
Angela, the CA16 is only one piece of paper.
It's 2, but 1 for the doctor, 1 for the supervisor.
And it's the first page that you need from your supervisor. Yes, the supervisor must give you the CA16.
But it's 2 pages. Get it all, because the first page is filled out by management, but the second page, your doctor fills out. It's like a medical note, and the doctor turns that in to the claims examiner. It's super important. You got to have them both. Now, let me quickly get to the 5th part, and let me recap. So the first part says report to supervisor now. The second part says get a CA16, don't take no for an answer, and choose your own doctor, and who cares what they say about doctors. The third part says fill out a CA1 and 2, and it's your right to do so. And the fourth part says get a notice of receipt, but I'm telling you to get a copy of everything. So the 5th part says you got to figure out how you want to get paid. If you have a CA1 claim and you report your injury today, then you made your timeline, because as long as you report within 30 days, you can have continuation of pay, COP. So you get to elect COP or health and or sick and annual leave. So those are your options on the 5th section on how to get paid. If you have a CA2, you're not eligible for continuation of pay, and so they don't ask you. But on a CA1, it does. Box 15 says you want COP or sick and annual leave. And so how to get paid is really important, because if you're off of work, you want to tell them how you're going to get paid, right? And COP gives you 45 days of pay on a CA1 claim that's reported on time. And your sick and annual leave depends on what you have available. You can use it. But when you don't understand this simple form, this one-page CA10 form, then you don't understand that you're supposed to report to your supervisor immediately, get a CA16 on a CA1 claim, that you can choose your own doctor, that you have to fill out a CA1 or 2, and get a notice of receipt along with copies of everything else, and choose your method of payment. And it's so simple, because once you've done all that, you did it already. Now all you have to do is go to the doctor. And so it's easy, and people think it's hard, and so they won't report. And even now, like I said it so fast, I think, gosh, I should say it again. I'm not going to, because you've all probably heard it. And you can go back and listen to this again. And you can get the book, and it's all in there.
Angela said 2 things. What if the supervisor didn't fill out the doctor on the CA16, and does the doctor have 10 days to send it into DOL?
Okay, if the supervisor doesn't fill out the doctor, that's actually a gift to you, because sometimes they fill out a doctor that you don't want, and you want your doctor on there. So that's cool if they don't. And the doctor does not have 10 days to turn it in. 10 days is referring to how long the supervisor has to turn in your CA1 or CA2 to the claims examiner. The doctor's going to turn your stuff in like right away, probably within a couple of days, because that's doctor's standard procedure. Any other questions?
Not yet.
You people have no questions? You're all reading the book, aren't you? That's good. That's good. You got questions about that?
So those of you that asked about the book, I pinned where you can find it. I said to purchase a book, go to www.breakingowcp.com. I put on there $14.95 free shipping. That's it, $14.95.
Which is like getting it for under 11 bucks, because shipping is like $2.80. So it's a pretty good deal.
All right, Patricia Stevenson said, okay, here comes all the questions.
Great.
Hello, how are y'all doing? Got
Super.
a question. I reached MMI, and one of the restrictions is I need to wear my post-op boot, which is open-toed. However, we have safety policy on proper with shoe wear
Mm-hmm.
on the work floor room, how can you get offered a job on the work? Oh God, my stuff is fucked. The workroom violating the shoe policy.
Yeah, well, it's not. You're not going to violate the shoe policy. Your doctor is going to give you restrictions. Those restrictions are going to include you have to wear the boot, and your supervisor is required then to find suitable work for you that allows you to wear the boot. It may not. It may be that you're not on the workroom floor. You might not be. That's something you got to make sure that your doctor understands, and then your supervisor has got to follow the doctor's orders.
Valerie Miller said 6 months post-op appointment today. Limited restrictions, 20 pounds. Rotator cuff, 50 miles away. PT three to 4 times a week.
Okay.
You can get your mileage on 100 miles round trip.
When your claim's accepted, there's a form called an OWCP 957. Get that at federalinjurycenters.com as well. And all your round trip mileage can be reimbursed up to 100 miles. So if you're traveling, 50 miles each way, turn that in, show proof of your distance and that you had an appointment. Attach that, and you can get paid.
We tell everyone to go on Google and do a MapQuest thing.
That's right. Attach that map
from wherever you're going from to
print it out.
your doctor's office.
Yeah.
Print it out. Attach it to the CA-17, not the CA-17.
The OWCP 957. Yeah.
And turn that in. A lot of you are saying that you're not told that you get paid per mileage, but let's just go back and tell you, what are you being told?
Nothing.
This is
Lies,
why we're
usually.
here to tell you.
Yeah.
And then that way you could help somebody else out and tell them
Yeah.
how to avoid this.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody's going to tell you that you can be reimbursed up to 100 miles because they honestly don't want you to find a doctor. It would be much easier if you didn't know you could be paid for that distance, and so you said, well, gosh, that's too far, I'm not going to go, even though you finally found somebody that could help you.
Angela said one of our employees didn't get a CA-16 and it's been a week. Can she still get it? Is there a time limit? Is there a time limit? Sorry.
Okay, so here's the deal, and I'm glad you asked that. And some of you may want to cover your ears on the answer. Not you. You don't have to cover your ears. Yours are good. You have 7 days. You have 7 days from your injury to report and get a CA-16. After 7 days, you technically are not entitled to it. But if they didn't give it to you, I would recommend filing a grievance and requesting a CA-16, as it is the law that you get one. If they didn't give it to you and you reported within 7 days, it's your right to have it, even if it's day 10. You reported, say, today, on time, but you didn't get it, and today's day 10. You have a right to that form. The law doesn't say you can have a CA-16 as long as you report it, unless you don't get it and it's too late. It doesn't say that. It says if you report on time, you can have it. I would definitely file a grievance. I've said this forever. Everybody, if doesn't get a CA-16 and you filed on time, file a grievance. If you're a rural carrier and they don't want you to do it, you work that out with them. But the rest of you do want to, and we all know it. So file grievances. But I think you all should file grievances because the CA-16 protects your wallet. It protects your ability to get help without paying money out of your pocket. So if you don't ever file a grievance on anything else, file a damn grievance on this. This at least, file a grievance. And get your CA-16. Fight like hell for it. It's your right. And by the way, turn into OSHA. Hey, I don't think it's safe for me to work. I can't afford to get help. And they won't give me the CA-16. See what OSHA says about it. File an EEO claim. See what they say about it. I'm being treated unfairly for having a work injury. I can't get help like other people can because I don't have a CA-16. Fight like hell to get your 16, whatever it takes. File a grievance, talk to EEO, talk to OSHA. Do what it takes.
So Denise,
obviously, I feel very strongly about this one.
Denise Wagler says, so I was off for 14 days in March because the doctor said allergies, but I feel it was much more because I had no fever, but could not see them because of COVID. How long does the FMLA last for my condition? Doctors say it may arise again.
Well, I mean, FMLA is a kind of a separate point. FMLA lasts for, was it 120 days a year? Mm-hmm. 120 days a year is what you get in FMLA. But the agencies are saying they're going to pay you for 14 days off if you have it or have been exposed to it. So your doctor's got to be able to say that you have it or were exposed to it. If your doctor just says you have allergies and didn't test you, that might be a problem. I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you if that's right or wrong. If you think it's wrong, you might want to talk to someone else and try to get tested.
Yeah, you might
But
want
without,
to.
go ahead.
You might want to go to an allergist with your CA16,
Or just your family doctor.
or a pulmonologist if you feel like it's coming within your lungs. So I mean, you have some options.
Or even if you don't have a 16, if you do, that's spectacular. But you've got to be able to show proof that you have been tested positive, or that you were exposed to someone who was, and your doctor wants to quarantine you.
So Angela, you said, what if they give it to you even though they don't have to? The supervisor is willing to give it. No, they have to give it to you.
But the question is, what if they give it to you even if they don't have to? Like, it's day 8.
Oh, yeah.
Take it and run. That's my answer.
Did you say take it and run?
Yeah, it's valid when it's signed. When it's
True.
signed by a someone who's able to sign it, like a supervisor or an HR person, take it and run. Fast.
Valerie
Run fast.
said, filing grievances in a lot of offices are like brick walls. So
We know that.
we understand that, but like if they're not giving you like your CA1 or CA2, you have the right to contact OSHA.
Yeah.
Contact OSHA.
And we know it's like a brick wall, and I understand that. But if you know me, you know one thing for sure about me, is that doing nothing is not an option for me. I refuse to do nothing. I'm not even talking about, if I wanted to do nothing, I would just stop this video right now. This is not a do nothing video.
Talk to your union president
Yeah,
and
you know-
union officials.
That's right. Most, and I mean this, of the union officials that I know, and I mean the vast majority,
Yeah.
would hunt your supervisors down to get it done. So I hope that you have somebody like that. The ones we have here in Florida, and the ones we know in Alabama, would hunt you down.
So what we know, like NALC, call your NBA.
Yeah, because they're awesome.
If the NBA doesn't work, tell your local president. If that doesn't work,
Tell your
all
state
national.
president.
Yeah, tell the state president, which Florida has like all the unions and agencies here has like the most beep presidents.
Ass.
And so we learn these things from them to share it with you.
Yeah, so much of what I teach here, I learned from talking to the state presidents here, and they are powerhouses. And I was like, shoot, if it works for you, the rest of the country needs this stuff. So that's what we teach.
Yes, and make sure you guys make a copy of everything. Everything. Keep your file, because the only one that is going to protect yourself is you.
Yeah.
You're going to
Nope.
protect yourself.
Look, as much as I care about you, and it's a lot, I mean, believe me, and those of you that know me know that's real. I care about you a lot, 100%. I can't care about you more than you do. And so you've got to really go out there and fight for yourself. I'll fight for you.
Yeah.
And the doctors I know will, and the union
yeah.
people I know will, but you have to be willing to do it too.
Judy says, I'm trying to find out if I have a new injury, even if my new injury is related to an old injury. Just message us. One of us or Jennifer will find out and we'll answer your question.
Yeah, but the point was good. I'm trying to figure out if I have a new injury, or is it related to the old one. So you're saying, do I have a CA1 or 2 or a CA2A? Go to your doctor, find out. And what your doctor says will determine which form you fill out.
Kathy said, just got your book today. And Judy.
Thank you, Kathy.
Judy, you said, I still didn't get my book. Okay.
They're coming.
So let me tell you guys how this works. When you guys, after 3 p.m., because we've already taken the day before. So we work from 3 p.m. on. And anybody that's purchased books from 3 p.m. that day till the next day at 2 o'clock, those books get shipped out the next day. So with that said, I know I've posted what that crazy mailroom looks like, and
I don't
it's
envy you.
Scary, and we totally admire those of you that work in there.
If that's your
because-
mailroom, God help you.
Oh my gosh, I think I had like 50 or 80 shares on that picture.
That's insane, yeah.
I try to tell my people that are not federal people, like, calm down, stop blaming your mailman that your package isn't at your door. Because
Look at their
remember,
mailroom floor, yeah.
as you guys know, like you guys all say, it doesn't go from the store to your house. Well, it doesn't go from our house to your house. It has to go to the mail.
And I'm glad it goes to the mail first. And by the way,
Yeah.
we only use USPS.
Yes.
It's just that's my personal policy. I'm not using FedEx and UPS.
Yeah, we
Sorry,
don't.
that's not who I'm working with. I'm working with you.
So those of you that are buying books tonight after this live or whenever, those will go out tomorrow, no later than 3 o'clock. So that's how it works. 3
Yeah.
p.m. and we go till the next day and it goes out.
Mr. Mozart, your books will be out tomorrow.
Yep. Isaac Floyd, hey Mr. Floyd,
Hey, hey.
says, have you heard about a change of address for OWCP Central Mail to San Antonio from London, Kentucky? We actually have.
Yeah, I've heard of that. And I'm not sure what's up with that, except for they changed from Conduit to this other new group that tripped over themselves for like the first couple of weeks. They definitely didn't plan it out well. I think they're getting their stuff together, but for sure, yeah, it's going to, I think, start going to San Antonio.
All right, so Christina Young says, I rolled my ankle and broke it on 4/1/20. So
Jesus.
I just went past my 45 days, and OWCP converted my case, so I had to send more documentation from the doctor. So I'm not sure if my case has been approved yet. I just went back to the doctor this past Monday, and she put me out on another month. What forms do I fill out to get paid now that my COP is over?
All right, so excellent question. First of all, you don't know if your claim's accepted. That's a problem for you. When it's accepted, they're going to mail you something and send you a letter in the mail. And the letter is going to, from Department of Labor, United States Department of Labor, or U.S. Department of Labor, and it's going to say, you know, your claim has been accepted for the following conditions, or your claim was denied, and here's why. If you didn't get the letter, then they haven't made a decision yet, or it's in the mail. But you can always call your claims examiner and find out. Or you can call OWCP and ask who your claims examiner is and find out. So that's number one. If your claim is not approved and you're out of COP, then you're at a position where you have to start using sick and annual leave. And probably, definitely, at that point, use FMLA to protect your job. Because your claim's not accepted and you don't have COP, and so the supervisors in that window of time will generally screw with you. And so to prevent them from screwing with you, you use FMLA because they can't hurt you then. It protects your job.
Yeah.
So fill that out and take it to your doctor. But once your claim is accepted, then you start filling out a CA7 form and claim LWOP, leave without pay, for all the time that you have off. I'm sorry that I keep bringing it up, but this one's so important. If you'll get this book, Breaking OWCP, at breakingowcp.com, I go into great detail about how to get paid in that scenario. You have a CA7, you fill it out perfectly, and then they deny it because you forgot to include the necessary documentation. So be sure you include all the documentation you need to get paid on your CA7. But it's complicated, but that's how it's done. In the book, I make it seem like really easy because it can be.
We got Mr. Mozar.
Hey,
He
Mr.
said,
Mozar.
hey, Chris and Gini. So, Mr. Mozar, we were just talking about you, that you ordered 20 books.
And they're in the mail tomorrow.
And they're in the mail tomorrow, and we look forward to hearing what the 20 people that you give them to, what they have to say. And those of you that don't know, Mr. Nick Mozar is the state president for the mail handlers in Florida. He is like one of the sweetest men we know. I mean, we have Al,
But
we
he's
have
a powerhouse.
Natasha and
Yeah.
Tish. I mean, like, but for mail handlers, he's kick beep.
Ass.
So,
I don't know what
You
you
know.
will say ass. I'll say it. It's my video. I say ass.
but like we said, Mr. Mozar, we can't wait till this drama is done so we can all get together again and see you guys. And once you get the books, let us all know. And Pam, you said you could have drove here faster from Fort Myers. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the mail, but again, we ship them out the next day, every day at 3 p.m. Except if you ordered it on Friday, it didn't go out till Monday.
You know what was fun is in the beginning. So I have this like label printer now that prints my postage. And so when you place the order, and by the way, while we're on this, be sure you put your address in correctly, because if you put in a bad address, I'm sending it to the wrong address every time because I don't know where you live. But I just copy your address from my website and I post it into the stamps portal, and I print the address, and then I label it and I mail it off. So be sure you put your address right. I almost said wrong and right together. Right. Be sure you put it right, and if you do, I guarantee it'll get there, because the post office will get it to you, as you know.
Judy, you can either message us on the Wednesday Night Chats Facebook Messenger, or you can message me on my personal one, or email me at Gini, G-I-N-I, at federalinjurycenters.com, or Chris at federalinjurycenters.com, and we'll be able to tell you and help you with your claim.
And back on Mr. Mozar, and I want to say this to all of you. Before this whole lockdown, this worldwide lockdown, we were traveling around and getting to see you face to face, and I miss you. And so I really appreciate you guys being here. The highlight of my work life is being able to go in front of you and teach you, and just hang out with you. We were in Atlanta, like a month before the lockdown?
Yeah.
And at this convention with like 1,000 people, it's so humbling to me because people would walk by and look at me and smile and look away. I'm not a celebrity. Look, I love you more than you love me. I guarantee it. We just miss being able to spend that time with you.
We miss all of you. Like, we just
it's
called up
really painful.
one president, and I'm like, when are we going back on our date again? My lunch date.
I'll wear a mask, I promise. Can we just get together?
But yeah, Mr. Mozar said, thank you for your kind words. Your book is going into every local 318 branch office in Florida.
Thank you. Hey, we hope it helps. I think it will.
And for the stewards out there, that's from the state president of the mail handlers. So understand where he's coming. He wants this information to be out there to his local post offices, and so that you guys could educate yourself and not get screwed. And this is why we're doing this, because yes, we come on here live every week. Now we did a book, and now you can read it for yourself. Other books he will be writing about what the next processes and stuff is, but this one, get it before it sells out.
You know what you're going to like is the chapter at the end about management. And it's not a management bashing chapter, because as you know, I come from that. I used to be a supervisor, not in a federal agency, but at a doctor's office. That's how I learned how to do this. And I have a lot of expertise at how to treat people nice and love people and make them happy to do work. You being them, right? So, you might want to tell your supervisor to check it out, because if they read nothing but the last chapter, it could change your life. It could change your life. If they just started leading with love and stop shitting on you all the time. Look, I'll say that word too. You said screw ass. Anyways, honestly, like this is a book for everybody at your agency.
Yeah. And so, Mr. Mozar, at the end of me helping Chris package these books and sending them out, I'm going to apply for a mail handler's position.
I think I have to pay her overtime. She's been working so hard.
And we put the stamps on. I think I'm casing them into the boxes, so I'll have to ask Al for a job too.
She does all this, and she cooks the best dinner ever. Like, how did I get so lucky? All right, what's next?
Angela said, so if I went to an urgent care and had the PA first, that isn't qualified through OWCP. And then a physician after. How do I get the urgent care paid? Do I send them my CA-16 my supervisor signed?
Okay. All right, look. I come from the doctor's office world. It is, as the patient, not your job to get the doctor paid. That's really, really commendable.
Yeah.
It is not your job to get them paid. It's their job to know how to get paid. How they get paid is by doing a good job. And if they do a bad job, that's their problem. If the PA signs it and the physician does not countersign it, they will never get paid. But here's what's worse. Your claim will never get approved. So don't worry about how they get paid. Worry about how your claim gets approved. So that PA needs the doctor to countersign that report. And probably the report's going to be substandard anyways, and you're going to get denied. But without the doctor's signature, you're denied anyways. It's dead on arrival. So don't worry about how they get paid. If they can't get paid, that's their problem. But we're about to talk to you about how we can get them paid.
Yeah, Linda said Doll's Kitchen. It is Doll's Kitchen.
Oh man, Doll's Kitchen is delightful.
And I know a lot of you ask, is that a restaurant? It's not a restaurant.
It's my restaurant.
It's just my home here. Yeah. And the reason I say Doll is that's because it's my nickname growing up that my dad gave me. So yeah, so if you ever see me and you shout Doll, I will turn around.
It's D-O-L-L, not D-O-L, which is funny.
I know. A few people have been ordering the books.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. Look, I'm super grateful that you want the books. People keep asking, will you sign the book? All right, here's the deal.
I think it's cute.
I am not a celebrity, okay? I am not famous at all, but I'm signing every book, okay? Every single book is going out with a signature because it's sweet. You guys are asking, so I'm doing it, But, look, I'm just a guy trying to help some other people. That's it. But I'm really humbled that you want my signature. I autographed every book.
I know, my sisters are like, no, we want to come when they're coming next month. So they're like, no, we're going to sign it with you and get a picture.
Even my sisters-in-law, they want signatures. Like, look, I'm your brother-in-law. I'm definitely not famous to you.
Anyway, Teresa says, supervisors at the post office care about nobody anymore. That exactly what I said.
No, that's not true. That's not true. They care about themselves.
Okay, but they don't care about you in the long run. They care about how they're gonna have somebody fill in for your shift, and when you're out, that's all they care about. And then they
and you're
piss
disposable.
you off, and it gets bad back and forth.
Well, the worst part is potentially. Now, look, we know actually some really sweet supervisors that are not jerks. One of you in Alabama knows exactly what I'm talking about. She moved up to management, and we know for sure that she's a sweetheart. And there are some of them, okay? But, you just got to be able to, stand on your own, hold your own, and don't worry about them.
Aw, Pam said, love Doll's Kitchen. Thank you,
I love
Pam.
Doll's Kitchen, too. You should have had those fajitas last night and for lunch today.
Angela said, will they ask for my health insurance?
Who? The doctor? They might, but they shouldn't. Any doctor associated with our offices, we're with Federal Injury Centers. That's our franchise. We don't. It's our policy not to ask for money ever.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't even suggest that you might want to bring money. You can leave your wallet in the car. We don't want it at all. We'll never take your money. If we don't do a good job, we don't get paid. That's how that goes. And you should we should not expect to get paid if we can't get your claim accepted. That's unacceptable. But denied claims are unacceptable to us.
Okay, so Nick, we will be able to answer this question. He said, any other physicians noticing a delay in claim acceptance since April 27th?
Sure, everybody.
Or is it just Lakeland cluster up in Wisconsin?
Hey, Nick. So, look, Nick's a chiropractor out in Wisconsin. And
Is he?
very nice to talk to you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, everyone had delayed. We had all of our offices had a 2-week delay of payment. Everyone had a 2-week delay of everything. It should probably in the next week or two get back. I don't know what normal will be, but whatever the new normal is, it'll get back to that. Thanks for watching, Nick. Nice to hear from you.
Will Doll's Kitchen have a cookbook?
Yes. Let me tell you why.
Oh
Because I can't tolerate not having a cookbook anymore. It's happening.
I know a lot of you have been asking me to do Facebook Live tutorials, and I will. I just wind up getting the new, what is this?
iPhone, whatever.
iPhone Pro Max Pro, whatever. So I just got that, and I need to get the ring light and the whole setup. So I'm waiting for that, and I'm like,
Wait, tutorials on food?
yeah.
She asked, okay, people ask her all the time. This is so far off topic. How do you cook that and how do you do your makeup? Okay, those are the two things that happen all the time. You know what people ask me? Nothing.
How do I get a book?
No, nobody even asked me that. Nobody asked me anything. In fact, we get places, and she was at the airport, and this TSA employee, and thank you for watching too, said, aren't you that girl, and didn't I just see you in terminal whatever? And she's like, yeah, look, I was right there too.
They didn't ask about him.
Nobody even saw me.
They didn't even know, because I wear my shirt.
I'm invisible. There's this line right here, I'm not even here.
Anyways, so enough about the CA16. If you guys didn't catch the CA16, just go back, #replay, watch it again. We talked about the 5 steps on the CA16. Please, please, please print out the CA16. Put it in your break room, because that's your break room.
CA10, babe.
Yeah, CA10.
If you can print a CA16 from federalinjurycenters.com, put that in your break room too. In fact, that was actually good. You should put a CA16 in your break room.
See, when I mess up, I say good things.
That was a good mess up. Go to federalinjurycenters.com because we also have a CA16 there. We have everything you need. Everything, because we're tired of you getting jacked with at work. So go ahead.
Linda Stoner wants to know, Chris, how do you cut your hair?
Well, Linda Stoner.
He's got a barber, which we are open in Florida.
Our folks are back open here in Florida, and so I'm able to, in fact, we're going tomorrow. I'm taking two of my sons tomorrow. We're getting our hair cut. So I don't cut my hair because I don't have a clue how.
Maureen, you said, I need this book because you're a steward. So if you look
Yeah,
down
please.
at the bottom of the comments, I pinned where you go, and it's $14.95 free shipping. And so this is the, whoops, this is the book. Let me back up. This is the book. That's Chris. And let's see. He didn't autograph that one, but.
Because it's not shipped yet.
Yeah. So this is the book. Let me show you the words. Look how big the words are.
It's really easy to read.
It's not that big of a book. So we have already 30 states of different people.
In 30 states.
In 30 states that have purchased this book. We need 20 more states to go.
Now, eventually, we've even had people in Alaska that have gotten the book. So obviously, eventually, it'll be in all 50 states. But if it's not in every local union, then we have a problem. If it's not in every agency location, we have a problem. If you work for the post office in one town and it's not there, you have a problem. I wrote this book so that you didn't have to worry about whether or not I would get invited to your union meeting and teach it. This book's there. It's here. Like, everyone can have it. All 2.8 million federal employees can have this book. And you can have everything I've ever taught on how to get your claim accepted and how to fight denials and how to combat your supervisors. I wrote this book in a 28-hour period over 3.5 days so that you could have it and you wouldn't have to worry about, can Chris and Gini make it out to my union convention or meeting? I'm sorry. Look, I'm not even angry. Look, whatever. I'm so happy everything happened because now I have this book and I can get it to you no matter what. Nobody can block you. But for a little while I was like, shoot, some of these unions are not inviting us out anymore. How am I going to teach this? Because, those of you that have been injured and those of you that have known people that have been injured, you know how serious of a problem this is. You can set up in an office and somewhat be disconnected from the problem on the ground. And I don't go up to that office. I'm on the ground all the time. That's where I live. And I hear the stories and I see it. And, I've had too many people calling me and they couldn't put their words together because of crying. Yeah. And that's what this book is for. And the tragedies, that's what this book is for. That's what it's for. It's for the tragic, whatever, results of denied claims, which is the epidemic for federal employees. Your worst problem as a federal employee is if you get hurt. It's the worst thing that can happen to you. There's a lot of you that think, well, the post office could be privatized. I agree, that would be a tragedy. Or, VA could be privatized. Definitely a tragedy. But if you get hurt, it's a personal tragedy. And here we are. I mean, you wouldn't believe. We flew 54 times in 52 weeks for the last 3 years. That was our average. We were everywhere that we could be teaching this stuff, and then boom, it was like lights out. And what I knew is you weren't going to stop getting hurt. And no matter what happened, the federal government wasn't really going to shut down. You were still going to be working, which meant you were still going to hurt. And so I wrote this book, and I hope you get it. And I hope you make sure that everybody that you know has it. And that it's the handbook that, in your vehicle, it's there if you drive for a living. That if I get hurt in my vehicle, what do I do? Because that's in the book. And that wherever you keep your stuff, you have a copy of the book.
Yeah. Because
if you get hurt today, your supervisor's going to try to screw you over. And you have the book.
You have the book with forms and some rules all in here. So.
And I don't want it, that's it. That's all I'm going to say about it. I think you already know how important it is, and I don't want this to be too salesy, and it probably already crossed the line. But we want you to have it. We love you, and we're just trying to help.
Yeah. Hey, Andrew.
Hey.
Andrew's on. Tina, hello. Jose said, I ordered it. Thank you for helping us.
Thank you, Jose.
Who just said that? Teresa said, just bought mine with Apple Pay, so easy.
Awesome. Yeah, it is easy. Thank you.
I'm purchasing one more extra for our union steward here in Arizona. Awesome.
That's
Maureen,
really great.
I just bought one. Katie, you said thanks for responding to your message. If I didn't read your question, please put it back because all the questions are coming in so fast, I don't get to see them.
Or if, Katie, we actually did, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, there's a lot of people on here. If we missed it, please forgive us because we're here to answer your questions. If you just re-ask it, because it's probably buried in like 300 messages, we'd be more than happy to answer it. That's why we're here. I want to answer your questions.
Letty said, yes, on food and makeup tutorials. We always talk about your makeup at work. Aw, that's so awesome. I feel flattered. I really do. That's so cute. I don't know what to say.
You can ask the next question. People are funny.
Ordered in Utah. I'm from Utah. I'm from Pleasant Grove.
Do they do it like this? She went to University of Utah. UU? How's it go?
I can't remember.
I can't do it, but it's the only school that's UU, which is super cool.
All right. My book is en route. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. Okay, Valerie said, you guys asked for help recruiting doctors.
All right, let's talk about that.
except in Florida. Even the state has a few travel. Okay, Valerie. So what we're doing, those of you that read the post, and we're going to talk about it, we're looking for
even.
doctors to franchise nationwide, not in Florida, because we have somebody that already is going to be putting about 5-6 locations in Florida, and I understand
Maybe 8 actually.
Yeah, and we understand that we can't put one every corner like McDonald's. And yes, you may have to drive, but if you're looking for a particular city in Florida, please message me privately on our Wednesday night chats, and we will see what we can do. When one will come in that area, but we do know we have a doctor and a team that's going to be putting maybe 7, 8 more locations in Florida.
And why is that important to you in Florida? Because they're already just crushing it. If you want to get your claim accepted, you come to Clearwater, Florida. You get your claim accepted. That's how it is, okay? It is easily in the top 3 most prolific offices for accepted claims. And this group wants to expand throughout the state of Florida. And why wouldn't I say yes to that? Because they're crushing it. My goal is to get all your claims accepted, and that's what they do for a living. They get your claims accepted. So I want them to do it. I don't want to train somebody new who may screw it up. They don't screw it up. And so they're going to be expanding rapidly, shortly, throughout the state of Florida.
So we have a Clearwater office. We have an Auburndale office, like towards Orlando.
Coming soon. The offices are there, but...
And Lake City coming soon, and there's going to be a few more. We're still working on it. But
we're pushing them to go into other major areas. We don't have to push them that hard. They want to, because it's where you're at. We want to go where you're at.
So those of you that, when I put my post up and said, if you'd like to make an extra $2,500 and the most to $4,500, because we're looking for doctors nationwide, click interest, comment interested, and a lot of you did it. So what I'm going to do, I will go ahead and make another post by Friday telling you the Zoom information.
Zoom.
And on Monday, I had to change the time because I know a lot of people in the West Coast wanted to watch this as well and get on the Zoom. We changed it.
And California needs help.
Yeah, because we changed it to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That gives you guys, everybody that's working 9 to 5 or whatever, get home, relax.
Yeah. Even on the West Coast.
Hop on to Zoom. And if you're interested and you know of a doctor, medical doctor or chiropractor that is interested in becoming a franchise with federal injury centers, go ahead, finish the rest.
Yeah. Well, first of all, yes, it's a business. Yes, I run the business. I'm the president of the company. And I'm trying to get more doctors. But the reason I do this, look, honestly, I could do anything. There's not a business I couldn't run. Tomorrow I could start a bourbon bar and it would freaking kick ass, okay? But I do this, and I do this well. And I know what your problems are. Your problems are you can't find a doctor, and the doctors you found can't get claims accepted, and they want to bill you out of your pocket. So what we're doing with our franchise is trying to expand and get more doctors that use my system. The training protocol for how to do OWCP was written by me. I don't tell doctors how to make medical decisions because I'm not a doctor. Medical decisions are their thing. But how to navigate OWCP is my thing, and my thing alone. My partner Tom and I have gone through great lengths to develop a training protocol that makes denied claims like the outlier, okay? Whereas right now, accepted claims are an outlier. So what we need is doctors to, get on a phone call, get on a webinar, and understand what this is, because they don't understand what OWCP is. They think it's Medicare, and they hate it, and they think it's state workers' comp, and state workers' comp sucks. And they've heard that they can never get paid, but they don't realize they don't get paid because they're terrible at what they're doing. Well, we teach them to stop being terrible and start being great. So what I'm looking for is people who know doctors that they would love to be part of this system, but maybe they're failing, or maybe the doctors are skeptical, or maybe they've never even heard of it. And we want you to go because you have a relationship with the doctor, and the doctor trusts you because they know you. And they don't know me, so why should they trust me, okay? To them, I'm just a sales guy. And I'm not a sales guy. I'm here for you. But you need more doctors. So if you could get your doctors to just get on a phone call. That's all it takes. If the doctor agrees, the franchise, the way it works, all franchises, McDonald's, Wendy's,
Taco Bell, Pizza Hut.
Okay, you name all kinds of food franchises. All franchises. The Joint Chiropractic is a franchise. Massage Envy is a franchise. All franchises are structured in a way where the person who comes on, like the doctor, they pay a franchise fee. And the franchise fee covers the cost of starting, right? Well, what I'm able to do is, because I have a sales team that also is my franchise group, that also is my franchise lawyer, what I'm able to do is give 10% of the franchise fee back to whoever makes the referral. And so I said, look, we know people who care about this. Your fellow employees. Who cares about having a doctor that's trained more than you do?
You guys do, yeah.
Nobody cares about it more than you, period. And so I'm able to give you a portion of the franchise fee. It's not a kickback. We're not.
Correct.
It's nothing illegal or fraudulent. It's a business transaction. And so I think this is a perfect time too, because of the lockdown, and there are financial struggles going out there, and I have an ability to help with that and help you find doctors at the same time. So this has nothing to do with your treatment plan. This is not a payment so that you can become a patient.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with anything.
And
OWCP.
I'm saying that because inevitably I get people saying, oh, it's fraud, it's kickbacks. It's none of that shit. Look, we're just trying to get doctors, and they're hard to get a hold of, and you might know some of them. So if you do, and you're interested in this, we're interested in talking to you, and we're going to do a Zoom meeting to give you just a brief rundown of what you have to say to the doctor, to get them to talk to our people so they can get signed up and trained and help everybody in your area. And that'll be the end of it.
So again, on Friday, most likely Friday or Saturday, I'll go ahead and I'll create another post in the Wednesday night chats giving you the Zoom information for you guys to log on, come on Zoom. We'd love to see all of your faces.
Yeah, it'd be so much fun.
If you don't want to show your face, it's okay, because I don't tend to show my face in Zoom.
But I want you to. I wish I would have created Zoom. I think Zoom is the coolest thing. With like social media platforms, there can be like hundreds of us at the same time. It's so neat.
Yeah. So I'll create a Zoom ID, and once you'll just go in right there on the Wednesday night chats page and click it. You'll log on to Zoom, and we're going to explain to you in detail more than what we're telling you now how this all works. It might just be like an hour or so, and then we'll take any questions if anybody has any questions about it.
But here's the deal. No matter what, I'm getting doctors in every state to help you. It's my mission. It's what we do, okay? But hey, if we can do that together, even better. If you know somebody that would be perfect for your coworkers and for you, that's who I want. I want someone who loves you already.
Honest, caring.
Someone who's not greed-driven. Whoever cares more about money than you, please don't send them to me. I'm not interested in that, because a really good doctor can make plenty of money. I want someone who can love you, okay, the way we love you. And I mean that. Look, get the book. You're going to see it. It's like I bleed love throughout the book, because it's how I am. I want doctors that can be in line with that. They love you first, that will fight like hell to get your claim accepted, and understand that if they do those things, there'll be plenty of money. I don't want money to be the driver. So if it is, please don't send those people to me.
All right. So, Alicia, you said, can an OWCP doctor override the DOL doctor restrictions?
So what you're saying is, can a second opinion doctor override my treating doctor's restrictions? They're sure as hell going to try. But in the end, your treating doctor is the treating doctor. If that happens, what your treating doctor is going to have to do is write a narrative report explaining why the other one's wrong.
Yeah. So again, you're asking about, okay, so the Zoom date, for those of you that are interested in helping us bring new doctors onto our franchise.
It's not helping us, it's helping you.
Well, yeah, but
Okay, it's helping us too a little bit, but we want you to have doctors.
The Zoom date will be Monday the 25th.
I mean, coming up right around the corner.
Yeah, so Monday the 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll post everything that you need to have information for the Zoom. Whether you do it or not, you got the information.
Yeah.
And if you want to make anywhere from $2,500 to $4,500, it's completely up to you.
I should explain why there's a range. The range is this, because in the sales process, there is a range of $25,000 to $45,000 as the franchise fee. Some of that goes to a compliance lawyer. Others of it go to marketing and to setup and to training and travel. But we let them have a range because we really want doctors to just say yes. And I don't want any barriers to yes. And so it might close at 25 and it might close at 45. It'll never close at 45.1. That's the cap.
I forgot Monday's a holiday. So we will
That means we're all at home.
Well, everybody will be having a good time.
Well, we're all home anyways.
That's okay. So we will do it Tuesday the 26th then.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do it Tuesday the 26th.
And she'll repost that.
Don't worry about it. The Zoom info will be on there. Those of you that are on there want to get on the Zoom, click the link and do that. And so the last thing I wanted to say, I forgot it was Memorial Day. I thought it was next weekend. I don't know what I was thinking.
I love Memorial Day. You should see my American flag swimming shorts.
Oh boy, nobody wants to hear about your swimming shorts. So the last thing
Goes
we
good
have,
with the shirt.
last thing we wanted to say is, don't forget, May 31st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be doing our live Wednesday night OWCP Chats National Convention.
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, May 31st. We will do it right here on Wednesday night OWCP Chats. It'll run about a 3-hour long training session in detail. So make sure you get your pen and paper and take notes. We will not be leaving this up for you to watch later on. So those of you that are going to be attending, make sure you write this down, set it in your calendar that you got to be on Facebook Wednesday night OWCP Chats page live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get the national convention training that we are hosting, our spring convention.
And here's what's exciting about that. Those of you that know me, you understand why this matters to me very much. A typical national convention will have 1,000+ people at it for your union. We're going to have multiples of that are watching this. Our OWCP convention is going to be 10 times greater or more in volume. I'm going to teach more people that Sunday than I could teach in an entire year. And I'm super excited about it. More people on one day in 3 hours that I could teach in an entire year. After that 3 hours, you'll be fully equipped to handle an OWCP claim if you have to file one.
Okay, so you guys are saying Tuesday is going to be hell for carriers? All right, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to decide. It'll probably be Monday.
I actually prefer Monday.
Okay, Monday the 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. So I will have all the information. Don't think you're going to miss it. I'll put down the Zoom information that those of you that are interested, again, helping us find doctors, helping you get a doctor in your area to help you with your injuries and your fellow coworkers. And May 31st, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be doing our spring convention of Wednesday night OWCP Chats, OWCP training.
Yeah.
This is exactly the training that we do when we go out to your state conventions or when you guys invite us to do a union convention in your union meeting.
So if you missed that and you wish that was happening in your area, it is. It's happening on your phone.
Okay. Monday, everybody's saying Monday.
It's
so
happening
Monday
on your
works.
It's happening on your phone, on your laptop, your desktop computer. That's where it's going to be. And so this thing that you all wish we could come to, we can't. But we can do this, and we're looking forward to doing it.
Alicia, you're saying no, the DOL doctor stated my FCE as sedentary permanent, 10 pounds. I got a new OWCP doctor who changed the restrictions to more and sent me back to work. It's a strain on me, I'm lost. Alicia, Jennifer's number's on here. And
you need to talk to Jennifer.
I'm going to have you contact Jennifer. And Jennifer, if you're on here, please contact Alicia Peoples. Alicia, if you haven't heard from her, let me know, message me, and I'll get your phone number and we'll get in contact with you.
And Alicia, this is important. Jennifer works for us. She is one of the great OWCP minds in this country. She knows everything that you need her to know, so definitely please take that call. You're going to get it from a 940 phone number. Take the call. It's going to it'll change things for you. It'll help you.
All right, everybody. So tonight we went over the CA10. We went over the Zoom meeting if those of you are interested in making some cash, because Christmas is coming. Oh gosh, in 6 months after next month. And our national convention that Chris and I are hosting. And
oops, that's
wait,
backwards.
I knew that. Don't forget to buy the book. Go to breakingowcp.com. It's $14.95, free shipping. Anything
And
else?
it can be a game changer. The main thing is get the book because it'll help you. Don't wait till you need it to get it. You should have the information before you're hurt, and all your coworkers should as well. All 2.8 million federal employees should know what this is. You just should. My fear is that only 100,000 people are going to get the book, and 2.7 million federal employees won't know anything about it.
So tell your coworkers, don't forget, like I said to you guys, these are good Christmas gifts for like $25 and under for Secret Santa.
White elephant.
Yeah. The local union presidents, buy them for your, state presidents, buy them for your local presidents.
Yeah, buy them in bulk. They're priced so low,
yeah,
so that you can. There was a couple of other books in the OWCP category. One of them was like $20-something. One of them was nearly $30. And the $20-something one was on a small piece of it, respectfully. Okay, the nearly $30 one, whatever. I wouldn't buy it. But this one is half of that, and it's there so that you can easily get it. Everybody's got to get this stuff. Everybody needs the information. You're here so you can get it, and you know your coworkers need to get it. So just please pass it around. Just let people know. BreakingOWCP.com. It won't break the bank. I can't believe I'm going to say this. It won't break the bank, but if you don't have it, OWCP may break you.
Yeah.
And it does. The point is it does, and that's why I named it Breaking OWCP, because let's turn it back around on them.
Yeah. And
that's all I have to say about that.
These shirts will be available if anybody wanted to purchase it
at the website.
On the website as of Friday. And there are other t-shirts and mugs and hats on there with Breaking OWCP stuff. So next week, I know a lot of you had some concerns in previous text messages and Messenger about CA16s and CA17s. So those of you that don't understand what a CA16 or a CA17 is, next week we'll be discussing that on
we'll
our
hit that hard.
chats. So we will be doing that. Don't forget, Monday we'll be doing our Zoom meeting, and May 31st will be our national Wednesday night OWCP Chat Spring Convention.
And I want to give a special thanks and shout out to the Weed Eater guy who gave us the background music earlier. Thank you.
So with that said, everybody, we thank you again for joining in, tuning in, and don't forget to share, like, and follow us every week on Wednesday night OWCP Chats.
Same bad day, same bad time.
We will see you guys next week, and we look forward to seeing all those that buy the book. Bye!